What is up, everyone? Welcome to another October daily video where I'm doing 31 days of Halloween drawings. Today I'm going to be drawing a Scarecrow. I'm not scared. Are you scared? Should I be scared? We should probably get started. Alright, so let's get started with our Scarecrow. Or Scared Crow. Okay, bad joke. Alright, so like I've been doing on any of the other videos, if you've seen them yet this month, I did the sketch beforehand to try to speed things up just a little bit. And I'm trying to make these videos somewhere around 20 to 25 minutes at the most. So I'll be speeding through my drawing process a little more than I would if I was just drawing for myself. Normally I take at least a couple hours per drawing, but these I'm taking no more than an hour, and then I'll be speeding things up randomly here and there if there's any dead noise where I have nothing to say. So I think this is going to be one of the funnier drawings this month. It's this Scarecrow that is terrified that there's this crow on his shoulder. That was kind of a cute, fun idea. Alright. This piece is going to be a lot more bigger sweeping motions than some of the other ones. I'm trying to do a lot of these in one single motion. Try to get things as smooth looking as possible. Alright, get these tears in the hat so that the straw can come through. Now, if you watched any of the other videos, let me know down in the comments down below which one is your favorite so far. I think still my favorite one that I have done this month is probably the Ghost. If you haven't seen any of them, make sure you check it out. I'm going to have a link for it up in the card up here. So if you want to check those videos out, that playlist will pop up. After you're done watching this one, you can go and watch that one, or those ones, however many you want to watch. I feel like these kind of videos, I know personally I like sometimes these longer videos where there's nothing, crazy going on, just a little how someone does something going on in the background. I love just listening to that stuff when I'm working on stuff like this, actually. So like if I'm not recording something live like I am right now, I love listening to audiobooks or podcasts or even just videos like this where someone's just kind of talking and doing something on screen and just kind of losing myself in the moment. That's always kind of my go-to. I'm sorry if I'm a little stuffy or groggy sounding. Got kind of a cold going a couple days ago. I thought it was just my allergies, which this is allergy season for me, but I think I'm starting to get a cold, unfortunately. But by the time this video comes out, I should be completely cured of my cold, so at least there's that. Unfortunately for you guys may have to listen to some sniffling. But I took some Dayquil, ate a cough drop before I started recording this, so hopefully my voice can make it until the end of this video. If not, then there might be some more speed ups than some of the other videos, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll make it. I mean, I'll make it, but you know what I mean. So at this, we're just doing the coat now. Trying to just refine everything. The sketches I did beforehand, like I said, and tried to keep them as refined as possible to make this process a little faster. And if you actually want to check out or if you actually want to get any of these sketches, I did them all on paper first and then brought them onto here, did a slightly refined sketch. But if you want to get those sketches, anyone who joins my Patreon, For the dollar membership only, or for the dollar membership, you actually get the sketches, as well as the brushes that I'm using. Those are available for free to anyone who is subscribed to my Patreon, whether you're the $1 or $5 and up. The $5 and up also gets the full high-resolution versions of each one of these drawings I'm doing this month. So if that's something that interests you, go check it out. Every time I'm making a video, the $5 and up one get the full res versions of any of that stuff that I do. You get updates on anything that I'm working on. So pretty much everyone on Patreon already knew about the 31 days of Halloween before I even posted the first video. So if that's something that sounds fun to you, go check it out. If you do want to get the brushes that I made, and you don't feel like going on Patreon, you can get them on Gumroad as well. They are $2 over there. So if you do the Patreon, if you do the Patreon, it is a $1 membership, and you get the brushes for free. So it's kind of a little discount if you go that way, go that route as well. So just something to think about. I greatly appreciate it. I love all the support that anyone gives me, whether you're subscribed or you're just here watching this video today because the topic interests you. I do love all the support that any of you guys give me. So it keeps me motivated to draw even when I'm sick, like I am today. Just because I do love doing this, and I want to bring the entertainment to you all who are maybe sitting at home, maybe sick yourself, and you need something to watch. So you started watching some drawing videos, and I will take that. But anyways, no, thank you. If you aren't subscribed, maybe consider it, because I got many more days to come of videos for this month. Like I said, there's 31 days in October, which means there's 31 of these Halloween-based drawing videos. So, all right, this is starting to come along pretty quick. I don't know why I only half finished this bird up here. Just decided to leave him without a head. I used to draw cartoon birds all the time when I was in middle school and high school. I don't know, they were always fun to me. I had this character bird that was obsessed with coffee, and I always made him very twitchy looking. That was always my go-to drawing in my textbooks in school. I'm sure my teachers didn't appreciate all the doodles I would put in all the textbooks and whatnot, but it's who I was, couldn't help it. I was drawing nonstop back then, and I draw all the time now. Back then I just doodled all the time, and I don't think I really realized I wanted to be an artist until I was actually getting out of high school. I originally was going to go to school to be an architect, and nothing against architects, but I felt like I was going to get too bored. Even doing just architectural drafting, I just felt like I was going to get too bored doing that job, so I decided to go to school and go in for fine arts and just refine my drawing and painting abilities and whatnot, my digital animation and illustration skills. I just felt like that would appeal to me a lot more. So if you are in middle school or high school or even younger watching this video right now and you aren't sure what you want to do, you'll figure it out. If you want to do art, it is an arduous task sometimes to try to keep your name out there, but it can be very rewarding, and I love it. So just keep that in mind. It's it is very fun. I love working with people and seeing their face when I finish a piece for them. And actually, I drew big eyes in here, but I think I'm gonna go with these little dots for the eyeballs. That's it. Keep that like that. Kind of makes them look a little more scared. So, time for the fun part where we start to add some colors. We're gonna add a new layer. We're gonna go up to our line layer. Go to reference. That's gonna make it so when I drop the colors in, it references to the line work. Go to a slightly yellowish tan. Let's see. That's a little dark. Trying to do like a burlap color. I think that works. And sometimes this can be a daunting task, trying to figure out what colors you want for your drawing. I try my best not to overthink it. And I just go with the flow. And most of the time I'll find a good color. Let's see, I'll do kind of a dark red jacket. Let's see how that looks. Do fill with recolor. Select where you want it to start, and then you can just tap. I don't know if I like that. Let's see. Let's go more maybe into the green. A little desaturated. There we go. I like that more. I don't know why, but for the first like 2 days I was doing videos. First 3 days, I should say. I kept saying 3rd gen. I don't know why I kept saying 3rd gen. This is a 2nd gen iPad. So I don't know why in my brain I kept saying 3rd gen, because this is definitely not a 3rd gen. But I am using the 3rd gen iPad Pro with the 1st gen Apple Pencil. Just to limit the amount of colors on the screen, I'm going to do the same color I did for that patch. That's always something to kind of keep in mind when you're making an illustration. You don't want to fill your drawing with just a crap ton of colors. It starts to get, well, I mean, unless that's the point of the image where it's almost like a psychedelic look and there's just colors everywhere. You don't want to overpopulate with too much color, because what ends up happening is the eye doesn't know where to focus. Ooh, let's see. There we go. And then this controls how strong the fill is down here. So if you get that moment where things are flying out the edges like that, you can bring it down until it comes back. All right. Now, last thing. See, like I was saying before, to reduce the amount of colors, we're gonna go to this brown, and that's what we'll use for this rope. And there's another spot where the flood was just a little too strong, so just gotta readjust it. Most of the time, it's just because somewhere the line isn't perfectly connected. So do this, get this a little bit of, and then when you're just dropping in a fill, you can just slide your pencil back and forth to do your fill strength as well. All right, let's get a dark gray for these buttons, and then we are pretty much done with all of our base colors. Oh, here comes the sniffles. Oh, we are not almost done with our base colors, because I still gotta get the little birdie up there. Okay, I think we got all the base colors down. Alright, so now for the fun part of adding in shadows. We're going to go to our filler brush. And we are going to make sure we're on black here. New layer. And then we're going to tap that. Go to clipping mask. That's going to make it so I can't go out of the lines. And just start adding some shadows. Now, a lot of times I'll go with this filler brush. Kind of get a bulk of an area down where I'm going to have color, and then I can kind of go back and refine it. If I have too much in certain areas, I can just go back and get rid of all the extra. Okay, so now let's go to our layers here, tap the N, drop that down until we get a shadow that we like. I think that should be good. Gonna go back to our fine line, smooth liner one, and start refining some of this shadow. And like I said, it's kind of nice sometimes doing that at bulk laydown. Helps you sometimes not overthink it, and then you can start to think about it more once you start in this refining area, if you need to erase anything. But it's kind of nice. It kind of gives you a good perspective on where your shadows are going to be without, like I said, overthinking all of that. And sometimes with the eraser, so I'm on standard liner right now, which is actually what I want, because then I can just quickly erase. If I'm on the smooth line one, it's really hard to do these fast motions of erasing, so a lot of times I'll stick to that for erasing a little bit larger spaces. Selection tool here. This is what I like to do if I'm just quickly erasing a bunch of stuff. Circle that up with 3 fingers, scrub it back and forth, and it'll erase that. This is actually another area I can use quick selection because all of this needs to go. I don't sit there and go back and forth with my pencil forever trying to get rid of stuff in a more precise way. I can just go in with this. Now this is one of the more satisfying parts, and I've noticed every time I'm doing these videos, this is the part that I tend to zone out a lot and I'm not talking, so I end up fast forwarding a lot in this section, because this is the part normally where I just put on podcasts when I'm just working on my own stuff. So I'm doing my best to try and stay alert and try to talk through what I'm doing a little bit, but I do tend to zone out during this part. So I apologize if I do a lot of fast forwarding in these shadow parts, but realistically all I'm doing is I'm just going in and finding areas that I feel need refining with my shadows. So nothing new as the piece is going across. So alright, so just finishing up the last little bit of shadows right now, and then I'm going to be doing one of the more important things I think when it comes to doing shadows, and that is adding a rim light. So all you have to do for that is, once you get all your stuff shadowed in, you're just going to go in with an eraser and erase some of these back edges of things, so it looks like light is bouncing off from the back side of the character. Gives a little dimension, slight bit of realism, even though it's a cartoon. Nothing wrong with adding some real world lighting effects when you're doing cartoons. And this really helps the eye quite a bit differentiating the colors of the shadow to the highlights. So you don't need to do every single one of the back lines there. Give it a little life. That. Okay, now we're gonna go down here, and this part's really satisfying because it can really bring the piece to life really fast when you start erasing these back lines. Like something like that, you wouldn't have been able to tell that that was actually shadow because it was just so everything there was in shadow. So alright, almost done with the rim light section here. And you might have saw at the beginning of the video I was wearing my Happy Halloweeny shirt that I made about referencing my wiener dog Leia. If you want to check that out, I also have a description, or I have a link for that in the description. I have a description in the description. Yes, that's what I meant to say. I'm loving the shirt. It's really comfy, and it has a wiener dog on it, so pretty much best of both worlds on that guy. Now you don't have to go and do every edge, but try to get enough to where it adds a little extra life and helps break up things. So I think I am pretty good on the rim light. Alright, time to start adding some highlights. Gonna make a new layer there, clipping mask, and this one is not gonna have much as far as lighting goes, or highlights go. I'm gonna go pretty subtle with the amount of highlights that are on this guy here. If you've watched some of my other videos from this month, you'll know that my iPad does like to freeze every once in a while when I'm working on these drawings. The further I get and stuff, when I start getting more layers, the more it starts wanting to freeze on me. The downside of having a slightly older iPad, like I said, this is the Gen 2, not 3, like I said, like in 7 to 10 videos in a row. And they call me a professional. Actually, no one calls me a professional. I call myself a professional. I don't know if that counts though. So we're gonna go drop the opacity down on that. Now for the important part of adding some final lines. So made a new layer. We're gonna go in and add all these lines to give it just a little more life. I'm doing this all in a separate layer, so in case I don't like some of the lines I'm making, I can easily erase it without having to worry about the fact that I am on the main line layer. Now I have stitches throughout this piece, but I'm not going to put these little circles in all those. The face is pretty prominent as something that someone will look at probably the longest, so I want a good amount of them here. But let's get... definitely need to do is add these these little lines here that I do in a lot of my stuff, but certain images really benefit from doing these little lines here. It really makes it look like the Scarecrow is actually scared. Just, you know, you can go even a little more overboard than normal with them, because then it really shows like some, almost like sagging, drooping eyes. Like, I don't know, it's such an interesting look that you can add to something. Okay. Alright everyone, there it is, the finished piece of the Scarecrow. This is one of the 31 videos I'm doing this month, doing the Halloween drawings. So if you aren't, make sure you subscribe, and like always, keep drawing, and until next time, bye!